Good morning. In this session, I want to discuss about in IMF. That means International Monetary Fund. What is IMF? IMF is an international financial institution established in 1944. I want to bring your attention to 1944. This is an era which comes after two disasters, to problems that world faced. Great Depression of 1930s and Second World War, which happened in 1939. Because of the huge damages people faced, the world leaders assembled together in Bretton Woods and thought about how can we overcome those damages that people suffering from. And as the result, there comes Bretton Woods teams. You know Bretton Woods teams, which are they? IMF and IBRD, that means World Bank. Here we are discussing about IMF. So after all these distractions of Great Depression and World War, IMF comes with a goal of reconstructing the international payment system. It now plays a central role in the management of balance of payment difficulties and international financial crisis. The IMF was conceived in July 1944 when representatives of 44 governments meeting in the town of Bretton Woods. But later it came into existence in 1945 when the first 29 countries ratified its articles of agreement. Some of the major people who influenced in the establishment of IMF are H.D. White and J.M. Keynes. These are the people who influenced in the establishment of IMF. Some of the general information regarding IMF. It is having a membership of 189 countries, and its headquarters is in Washington DC in US, and it is governed by an executive board of 24 directors, each representing a single country or a group of countries. It is having 2,700 staff from 150 countries. You might be knowing about SDR. SDR, that is Special Drawing Rights. They are a unit of account of IMF. And the value of IMF is determined by summing up the values of 5 major currencies of the world. Today, the value of SDR is 98.48 Indian rupee. Now, some of the aims of IMF. First one, to promote international monetary cooperation. The birth of IMF, you know, because of the lack of unity among people. Now, IMF comes with the intention of promoting international monetary cooperation. We learned from Great Depression and Second World War the need of cooperation among the people, among the nations. Then to facilitate the expansion and balanced growth of international trade, where every poor country, middle income group of countries, then rich countries, everyone mutually benefit from the international trade. Then again, to promote exchange stability. Then comes assisting in the establishment of multilateral system of payments. Multilateral system of payment where 3 or more countries come together to form a system of payment. Then making resources available to members experiencing adverse balance of payment difficulties. Okay. Now some of the important functions to point out are, first one, surveillance, keeping track of the global economy. Every nation in its boundary, it keeps a surveillance to keep it secure from its enemies. So also in the case of IMF, it oversees international monetary system and monitors the economic and financial policies of members. Whenever some of the problems creeping into its members' economy, they are then at the same time it is detected, and IMF instructs how to correct them in its very beginning. Then again, lending to countries with balance of payment difficulties. That means adverse balance of payment problems. Many of the poor countries and middle income countries, even the rich countries sometimes would be facing the problem of balance of payment, adverse balance of payment. Then a technical assistance is also granted by IMF by giving practical help to members like financial management, tax policies and administration, official statistics and so on. The poor countries and other countries having adverse balance of payment, it is because of their poor financial management. They are not understanding the problem of their policies. So IMF come to their rescue by instructing them how can they overcome those problems. Now let me have a viewpoint visit on administrative structure of the IMF. Administrative structure. It acts like a hierarchy from top to bottom. At the top of the structure, we can see Board of Governors, and it is composed of one governor and one alternate governor for each member, and its function is meeting annually, and it acts as a highest decision-making body. Under the Board of Governors comes Executive Board. It is composed of 22 executive directors plus managing director. Its function is maintaining the day-to-day operations. Under the Executive Board, there comes managing director, and its function is it is responsible for staffing and general business. Under the managing director comes deputy managing director, and its function is to assist the managing director. And the bottom we can find staff. They are citizens of the members of IMF, and staff runs various departments of IMF. Finally, I want to discuss about the advantages and disadvantages or criticisms raised against IMF. First, we can see the advantages. Only some of them are I am mentioning here. It provides loans to its member nations, and it has been helpful in various occasions of crises faced by various nations. For example, at the time of oil crisis in 1970s and debt crisis of 80, it was been IMF has been very helpful for various nations. Then it fills deficit gaps of various member nations. Then it provides technical support and assistance whenever they are facing with some problems. Before concluding, I want to mention about some of the criticisms raised by the critics about IMF are: IMF supersedes national autonomy. Sometimes people say IMF interferes in the matters of member nations, its sovereignty. Always it may not be true, but some of the times it has been true. Then again, it aggravates economic problems more often than not whenever it reaches wrong conclusions. Again, some of the people levels the criticism that it acts as a tool for wealthiest nations because big economies have greater say in the working of IMF, and they are the leading major decision power, making power of IMF. Then imposing policy with little or no consultation with affected countries. That is again another issue or criticism raised against IMF. Okay, thank you.